Hello, Steve Arts 89. Well, I just watched the 10th episode of House of the Dragon, the final episode of the season. Didn't feel like the final episode of the season. Princess Rhaenys shows up to inform Princess Rhaenyra, I can never say her name, that her father has died and that Alicent has claimed the crown, claimed the throne for her son, Aragon. He's been crowned in front of thousands of peasants, and that she didn't burn them alive for some reason. She fled. So there's just a whole bunch of politicking and panicking, and I'm kind of surprised at how Rhaenyra actually is dealing with it. I thought she had no integrity on account of the whole lying about her children, cheating on her husband. Well, he knew what was happening. But lying about her children, claiming the throne when her children really aren't heir to it, and so forth and so on. I'm really surprised to see that she's actually trying to maintain peace. She's not just jumping to war out of revenge or ego or anything. She actually does have some sense of loyalty to the kingdom, to her people and everything. So that was kind of a surprise. Daemon, of course, wants them to go to war, and she's resisting that. Alicent sent someone there with basically surrender terms, and basically said, we don't have to go to war, let's just all be friends. She didn't really go for that, but at the same time she did prevent bloodshed. She put her decision off so that the guy delivering the ultimatum basically could leave and not be killed by Daemon. She makes the bizarre choice to send her sons to two of the other families to see if they're still loyal, because she doesn't quite know who's loyal to her, who's not. And that's kind of the end of the episode. I probably should have left it off till later, but her son shows up, and the king is basically like, you're offering me nothing. So the king came to me with something else. So go back and tell your mum that we're not your puppets or your puppets. And then, of course, Madam X wants to challenge him to a duel because she's still bitter about her eye. He wants an eye for an eye, but the king is like, no bloodshed, no, let him go back home, let little boy go home, because he basically calls him a pup and treats him with no respect because he's like a 12-year-old. And he gets on his little dragon, his tiny little dragon, and then Madam X shows up with the much bigger dragon and starts chasing him through the sky, and I'm like, don't kill the little dragon, you bully. But the little dragon, unfortunately, they can't actually control them. They think they can, but they can't. And the little dragon burns the big dragon. I'm like, why didn't you just burn Madam X right off his back? And just, but no. Big dragon's not happy. Big dragon eats little dragon. And the prince and, Madam X is just watching, like, the parts of it just tumble down to the ground. I'm like, oh, that's not going to end well. Rhaenys goes to her husband, Lord Khaleesi. I think that's how you say his name. I can't remember half the characters' names in the show. I know who they are, but I can't remember their names. I cannot, even if I can remember them, I can't say them right. He limps to the Queen and basically promises his house and all his army, and basically points out, we've kind of got the ocean, we can kind of block the seas and stop King's Landing from getting anything from the ocean, and that's going to hurt their trade and everything, and we can starve them into submission, basically. And she's like, okay, let's see. I totally forgot. She goes into premature labour when she finds out her father dies, and gives birth, if you can call ripping it out of herself, to a stillborn child. and still carries on as queen, which she was given her father's crown by some guy who showed up, and she wasn't really planning to be queen. It just sort of happened. He just sort of showed up with the crown. Damon put her on her head, and everyone just bowed, and she's like, "Oh, I'm the queen now." But she's trying to keep it together. She's trying to keep peace. But when she gets word that her son is dead, she doesn't look happy. So I'm guessing there is going to be a war. But that's where the episode ends. That's where the season ends. I'm like, that's it. That's it. Yeah. It was okay. I must admit, I am liking the Princess Renice, but that's about it. I don't really care about anyone else except the dragon, the little baby dragon which got eaten. But yeah, I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and let's see what happens next season.